camera accidentally cut off by accident, so you're getting a part 2. Like I was saying, Spike Lee, I was about to say Spike 3, but it's Spike Lee and Ryan Gosling tied at number 3. Like I was saying, Spike Lee is good at trying to get you to sit down and think. Like when he makes movies like Do the Right Thing, Get on the Bus, you know, when he does movies like She Hates Me, he's trying to get you to sit down and understand life from a different perspective. And I feel like that Ryan Gosling is on the same level as Spike Lee. I know people might say it's too early to say that in this man's career, but this guy did a movie called Creed. And everyone was talking trash about the movie Creed. How it was going to fail at the box office, how it's a Rocky ripoff, it ain't nothing like the original Rocky trilogy. And he said, okay, fine. And he took that challenge on and made millions of dollars. You know, and they put a lot of trust in him to actually write and direct that movie. Of course, Sylvester Stallone helped with that process. And then to turn around and come back with the sequel better than the original. And then they get that phone call from Marvel, hey, we need someone to come in here and do Black Panther. And he got the opportunity to produce, write, and direct Black Panther. And when you look at a movie like Black Panther, a lot of times they could have got Tyler Perry, they could have got John Singleton, they could have got Spike Lee, they got this guy that nobody knew nothing about and gave him a shot, and he made that movie $1 billion. Now, some people are going to say that's just one movie that he did it just at one time. And I'm saying give this guy 5 or 6 or 7 years from now, he's going to be able to make more movies and be able to do that dozens of times and show you that it ain't just Black Panther and Creed 2. He's going to come back and do the sequel to Black Panther Part 2. I can't wait. And he's going to do more movies, and he's going to show why he made that movie a big success. So, yeah. Now, is the movie Black Panther perfect? No, by no means. No movie in Hollywood's perfect. All movies have flaws. All movies have imperfections. That's why you always improve on skill and technique. And he's just going to get better and better as time goes on. Coming in at number 2 is David Glover. Now, David Glover is a guy that came in the late 80s, early 90s. He's a famous comic book writer. That's where he started his career off, writing Marvel Comics, DC Comics. And one day, he got a call to do a feature film. And one of those feature films happened to be Blade. You know, he had a chance to either do Blade or do Spawn in the late 1990s. And at the time, nobody wanted to touch these projects, and he was the one who said, I will write Blade. So he wrote the first script to Blade, and then turned around, and they could not get no director to direct Blade, so he ended up writing the first Blade film, and then turn around and then having to write and direct that film. And then ultimately, as time went on, he became the producer, the director, the writer, and directed Blade 2 and 3. Now, the first film to this very day is the best one. Blade 2 kind of underperformed. He will admit it. Blade 3 wasn't that very well received. A lot of people did not understand the concept of the story. People expected to see Blade team up with Spider-Man or him take on another Marvel character. And he did try to, redeem himself by making a television series of Blade, which got a better critical reception than Blade 2 and 3. But then he also got a chance to do Batman Begins. Like, he actually came in and wrote and ultimately produced Batman Begins. Of course, we all know that the number one person who ended up writing all 3 Batman films, and then David Glover got credited with those films, is Jonathan Nolan, brother of Christopher Nolan. See, Christopher Nolan gets all of the acclaim, but he has a brother, and his brother is just as talented. Now, his brother did try to direct some feature films, some short films in the beginning of his career. Wasn't good as his brother, but when it comes to writing, when it comes to producing and writing, Jonathan Nolan is great at writing masterpiece. That's why Batman Begins was such a successful film. The Dark Knight, better than Batman Begins. The Dark Knight Rising, some people like it, some people don't. That's why that film was so successful. So he has credits to his name, and he's like the number one because when you want something to be written, he did Man of Steel, And even though people were complaining about how the way of the direction of the character was going, you could see his expressions and his talents be displayed in that film. So I apologize if the camera broke into two parts. It wasn't on purpose. But until then, peace.